All right, now we just finished an hour. That was good. Oh no, we just hit record. Steven!
Steven. This is the Steven podcast, episode 21. So I have, I guess, a thing we can get into right away.
Yeah.
That I've been wondering, because I've had a lot of our fans sending emails to the email address we have set for the fan account, noreply@arby's.com.
Yeah.
And they've been going, this is really confusing because you're Steve. Well, one of you is Steve N.
Right.
And I'm not allowed to say what the last name stands for.
Right.
And the other one of you is Steven, and it's more confusing when you say Steven, and our birth names are both Steven.
Yeah.
Our last names both start with N. Who are you? Do you go by Steve N ever? Because I thought you were a Steven, and I thought I was Steve N.
No, I'm just Steve.
Okay, well,
Steve
I don't know much
N,
like that.
because my middle name.
But people always called me Steve in high school, and they called you Steven, I thought.
No, you're going to be Steven and I'll be Steve.
I'll be Stevie. Can I be Stevie?
Stevie? Okay.
I'll be Stevie for now.
Okay. I'll just be Steve.
Okay.
So this is the #1 culture news sports podcast on overcast.net right now, okay? Not a lot of people use Overcast, but that's all right. You should be using it because it's a better way to... why have your music and podcasts in one app like Spotify when you could have two separate apps and tell your friends about it? You know what I mean? So,
do people use Overcast still besides our listeners?
So. Yeah, only our listeners do. We got an email asking when we're going to make the move over to Spotify. We're working on it right now. We've got a tech guy who's trying to figure out all the kinks and stuff. But
Luis.
Yeah, he just hasn't figured it out yet. So the first thing we're going to talk about, actually, for real, is Tim Pool, our least favorite human being of all time. We're going to listen to his song, and we haven't listened to it yet. It looks super gay. So we're going to pause this.
Actually, hold on.
Go
So
ahead.
the name, so you can look it up and pause and then come back. It's only ever wanted by Timcast on the Timcast Records label.
And it's about gay sex.
So check that out.
Yeah.
And we're going to listen to it right now.
All right, here we go, Steve. And
later.
Okay, well, that was unironically one of the worst things I've ever seen. I mean, the DailyWire movies, they don't look good, but that makes sense because Ben Shapiro wanted to be a screenwriter before he went into politics.
My family was in Hollywood, but nobody knows that.
And so I get why he'd want to fulfill that dream. But okay, I just want to say, first of all, the fact that Tim Pool does not change clothes ever. He's wearing the same exact thing that he normally wears.
Well, it makes it easier on him,
I guess.
I'm going to defend Tim, actually, on this.
Okay, go ahead. Go for it.
Because even though it sounded like Linkin Park with Down syndrome, which already was Linkin Park, I can't really defend him. I can't even recommend you go listen to it, but for context, you might. The music, I didn't understand the message of it. I don't know if you want to dissect that part of it.
I think the music video was trying to say that the guy misses that his his wife was killed in a car accident. They got in an argument, and you can see him, mouth go die in a car crash, and then she goes and does it, and then he's
then
mad.
He laughs.
He laughs, and then Tim comes out and he says, "Well, you should have been wearing your seatbelt." He does his autistic, similar to Ben Shapiro. They both wear hats. They both have that weird voice, but. I don't know. I mean, unfortunately, it wasn't so bad that there was a lot to unpack. It was just
It was whiny. The random auto-tune, I'll give Tim credit on that. That random auto-tune, and then just randomly when he goes, "Wah!"
Yeah, he tried to make it badass at one point, but it was already the song was pretty much over by that point. It wasn't building up to anything. It was just monotone.
She'd already left him.
She already left. Yeah, she was getting in the car crash when he decided to... Whatever.
And then the smiling drummer, that was my only other takeaway, is that this seems to be some kind of sentimental song. It doesn't make sense because in the music video, I'm guessing Tim wrote it, if it's Timcast Records. And he's banging his wedding ring on something. Or maybe that wasn't him. Maybe that was the guy. I just wasn't putting it together.
Yeah, it might have been the guy.
Okay, well, it doesn't matter. I didn't follow it. You knew what was going on the whole time, though.
Yeah. The guy was wandering around their house, and he just missed his wife that died. And the last thing he got to do is yell at his wife. So maybe the takeaway is keep those you love close to you.
Is Tim Pool married?
No, actually, he had a girlfriend. And I remember seeing something about like some drama about when they broke up. He allegedly like went to her house and like took her cat, like took the cat that they had or something like that.
Cats.
Which Timcast for his other YouTube channel. Timcast Records. So the Podcast Records is the name of his record label, and I mean, I just don't even know. I mean, do you still have the video up? Can we like look at some of the comments? One of them said that they were happy they had something new to listen to since the Offspring kicked their drummer out of the band for not being vaccinated, which is, I mean, that was hilarious.
Timcast Records, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, let me... middle finger to the Offspring for letting a great drummer go over a shot. What does that even mean?
Like the drummer didn't get vaccinated and they kicked him out of the band.
Listen to your podcast for a while now. Never would have guessed you'd sing like this. Great voice. She is beautiful. I agree with that. I thought she was a pretty lady in the music video.
Yeah, she was cute.
He relayed his melancholy perfectly in his expressions. Now, that's just how Tim looks. Unless he must be talking about the actor.
Yeah.
The song was awesome. Keep fighting, Timcast.
Keep fighting, Timcast.
Hey, man, Tim, Carter, man, all you guys outdid yourselves with this one. That drop toward the end was fire. Okay, y'all. See ya.
I would like to just believe that all YouTube comments are just like AI generated, because I can't, the idea that they are real people, it just kind of scares me that someone would go and comment that on the video. I mean,
Google has the AI that's so smart that it's smart as a human and as sentient as a human, right?
Well, yeah.
And they own YouTube,
even
right?
that one thing, we were messing around with Playground, the AI website where you just like give it a prompt, and there's one that I didn't share with you. I did a whole bunch of them. They were so... You give them like barely anything to work with, and okay, so here's an example. So one of them that I typed in was Anthony Fantano reviews fart fests, fart sounds, over 1,000 farts, 1 hour. And it spat out, this is one of the most impressive collections of fart sounds I've ever heard. There are over 1,000 different fart sounds included, and they're all high quality. The collection is well organized and easy to navigate, and the sounds are all labeled so you know what you're getting. What
about the Joe Biden accidentally says the N-word during a speech?
Okay, that one was so... Okay, yeah, I typed that in. I said, what did I say? Like, Joe Biden apologizes for saying the N-word?
Yeah.
Okay, I sent the text of that to you. Go ahead and...
Yeah, former Vice President Joe Biden made a verbal gaffe during a speech in Florida on Tuesday, accidentally saying the N-word while discussing racial relations in the United States. We've got to get down to business to remedy some of the problems that have bedeviled us for so long. The N-word, the C-word, the X-word, the T-word, the P-word, Biden said during the speech. The remark was met with some laughter from the audience, and Biden quickly corrected himself, saying, I mean the 4-letter word, race. It's not the first time Biden has made a slip of the tongue while discussing race relations. In May, he drew criticism for saying that poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids. Actually, he did say that, right?
Yeah, I think it pulls from like a lot of news articles, because one of the things I tried using, it said like Business Insider has more stories if you subscribe to our newsletter.
Yeah, the Nathan Fielder one also had photo Nathan Fielder / Comedy Central.
Yes.
So there's like the citations and stuff. Yeah,
that one was awesome too. I'll read that one real quick. So all I typed in was Nathan Fielder meets George Floyd. And I hit search, and everything else that came out was this. George Floyd's added an apostrophe S, his brother, in a new episode of Nathan For You. Photo, Nathan Fielder / Comedy Central Entertainment Tonight has shared a clip from Nathan Fielder's new episode of Nathan For You, in which he meets with George Floyd's brother, Philanese Floyd. The episode will air Thursday night on Comedy Central, and Fielder's goal is to help Philanese raise awareness for the Black Lives Matter movement by ... giving away free ice cream? Yeah, it's a Nathan For You-esque pitch, but it's kind of sweet. Fielder gives Philanese a free ice cream cone from his new ice cream truck in Minneapolis, and while he definitely comes off as a bit awkward, he seems to be genuinely interested in listening to what Philanese has to say. It's crazy how something so small can make someone feel so good, Philanese says. says of the ice cream cone, it's a simple act of kindness, man.
All right. Well, this could just be the whole show, just reading AI.
That's
Here, okay, I got one more. This is the George Floyd action movie. The George Floyd action movie is a heart-pounding thriller that tells the true story of the last minutes of George Floyd's life, told from the perspective of the police officers who were present. The movie follows the events leading up to Floyd's death and the subsequent investigation. With pulse-pounding action and edge-of-your-seat suspense, the George Floyd action movie is a must-see for anyone who wants to understand what happened that fateful day.
Oh, man, that's incredible. So anyway, yeah, AI, I used to be afraid of it, but ever since I found that website the other day, I'm all right with it. I think
I think AI is just going to take over. Nobody's going to have to do anything creative ever again.
Yeah.
The AI has already done half this podcast for us.
Seriously, they have.
The AI.
Tim Pool, the AUTISTIC man.
Oh, I was going to read on his Wikipedia page. And this is already known about him, obviously, but it's just funny. Poole tends to reject a left-right political framework for both self-description and in other contexts, instead preferring to divide the public into those who are discerning and skeptical regarding legacy media and those who are undiscerning and uninitiated. Ugh.
Jeez.
Uninitiated.
Yeah.
Speaking of George Floyd, I don't have to do this right now, but that new toy...
Oh yeah, I'll do that later.
Okay.
I do want to get to that. We can't just like blow the Floyd load. Okay, so the next thing I wanted to talk about.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I feel like this is giving off the impression that again this is like a liberal podcast, but it's not.
No, we're much like Tim Pool. We are.
Yeah,
we're only preaching to the initiated.
Yes, we're actually using the Trump tactic where we have to take out the weakest competition. Like we're not going out and attacking Ben Shapiro.
Well, we will be.
Yet, exactly.
But we're starting with Tim.
Tim Pool is the Jeb Bush of conservative political commentators. But here's the next person on our list is Ron Desantis, who I think since he's very popular in Florida, he thinks he can just be Trump, or he has that Trump. He believes that I don't even know what I'm trying to say.
He's trying to be Trump because he knows that it works.
Yes, thank you. Okay.
Yeah, that kind of deal.
So this is what he said when Dr. Anthony Fauci has announced that he's retiring. Yeah, here's the awesome badass thing that he says.
And I'm just sick of seeing him. I know he says he's going to retire. Someone needs to grab that little elf and chuck him across the Potomac.
First of all,
someone needs to grab that little elf and chuck him
across the Potomac.
Oh, wow.
Do you know what the Potomac? You know what a Potomac is?
It's a river. It means hippopotamus river.
Okay, no, I didn't know that.
I don't know if
I had
that's
to look that up.
Horse river.
Yeah, it's just like a river up in like northeast United States.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Didn't you take history?
Sorry, we live in Nebraska. Okay,
I feel like the Potomac is important to some war.
I don't know.
Like the Civil War, the Revolutionary.
I thought it was like a.
Let's look it up. I want to know how long the Potomac River is.
Leave a comment down below. Leave an AI-generated comment.
Because we will be. So if you don't want your comment to get buried and you want it to be seen, you better beat our AI-generated bots to it.
Yes. I didn't know what Potomac was. I had to Google it. Why couldn't he have said... I mean, there's just so much he could have said.
No, it was a nerdy thing to say.
That little elf, I mean, that, first of all, is like the thing ever. Someone needs to grab that little elf and chuck him across the Potomac.
It doesn't even make sense because he's resigning. So it's like, what, before he resigns, make sure you grab him and throw him?
Yeah.
And by the way, all the people... I'm trying to figure out how close this is to my face. Close, far away, close. So all the people that... are like, oh yeah, all the conservatives really, they're like, yeah, Fauci's resigning, good riddance, elf, we should chuck you across the stage, across the Potomac. It's like the damage has already been done by Fauci. He's already been in whatever his position is for like 40 years.
Right.
And now they're like, he's gone now. It's like,
he's like also 90 years old.
Our economy's destroyed, but good thing Fauci's leaving.
Right. When he's like literally no longer a problem. And he's probably already appointed people who are going to continue his work.
Oh, and all of his dealings outside of this, he's still going to have. So he's still going to be getting rich off of everything. This was just for him to... Anyway.
Yeah, I don't know. I just can't stand this new. I think we're going to see it a lot more now that the midterms are coming up. Just these like Trump copycats where they think they're Trump, but the think tank research shows that you can't actually say anything the way that Trump says it. You have to like have these stupid, nerdy, crafted statements like that. And like the Biden administration is an absolute failure. Where you had Trump during the debate saying like, what did he say? Like, I've done more in 4 years than you have in 40 years or something, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
I remember too, the thing that makes Trump work, and I had to like look this up because I always forget the Dilbert guy, you know, the comic strip Dilbert.
Yeah.
I remember when he was on Rogan, my favorite podcast, the Joe Rogan Experience, Scott Adams was on there, and he's like, the reason Trump was so good is because he would brand people, and it would stick. And that's like all these other people are just trying to be mean. Yeah. Which is cool on some level, but it's not really because they're just trying to be like Trump.
I mean, it's
transparent. Like, it's obvious that they're trying to be Trump.
The little elf comment is like, came from the same guy who wrote Jordan Peterson's script about the up yours woke moralists. We'll see who cancels who.
Up yours woke moralists. We'll see who cancels who.
Like, can you think of a safer way to say that you won't be censored? You know what I mean? Like, up yours woke moralists.
Woke moralists. My or yours. Doesn't matter.
We'll see who grabs Ellen Page's man or woman tits.
I forgot about that too. So she's a man who has woman boobs or a woman who has man boobs? If so, why would she need to change those boobs? If they were already man boobs, then why would they? Conservatives have this weird thing where they are like fetishizing being canceled, and it's like not even coming for them. You know what I mean? There's like no way to cancel.
The biggest, the Dave Rubin, don't burn this comedy
special. They're gonna burn your gay book.
I think don't burn this book. How about more like please read my book? Am I right? Because no one read it.
Nobody read it.
I think they're.
So please watch my movie, Ben Shapiro. Please watch my movie. Oh, you have to subscribe. I don't know, probably like $10 a month or something to DailyWire.
Yeah,
and then
maybe.
All the critics hate it, and all the people that have watched it love it. It's like, because you have a built-in audience, you dumb. Like, nobody's going to... I would not go see that, and I'm never going to pay for DailyWire Premium.
Yeah, I would not see it either. It's like the Dinesh D'Souza movies. It's like, Hitler, more like Democrats. And then you go and watch the movie, and it's like, here's how the Nazis actually created the Democratic Party. There was one that he had like Richard Spencer on, and he's like, "Who is your favorite president?"
Dinesh did?
Yeah. And he's, could you please tell me who your favorite president is? And he's like, I would have to say like James K. Polk because he was like and then he's like, that is a Democrat. And then it's like, that's the whole interview.
Richard Spencer, leave it to him to have some answer like Polk as his favorite president.
Like
I mean, that's better than the like, I like Teddy Roosevelt. You know, all the cool stuff he did. Like a lot of people do that kind of thing. But the Polk thing from him is... What's his also the thing of what was his favorite burger? Do you remember?
What he says, like he's like
I've had some good burgers in my time. I love a good melted Swiss cheese and roasted mushrooms and caramelized onions on a burger. That is hot stuff. You can get that at a number of different places.
That's iconic.
But he's not gay,
right? Wow, I wonder what he's up to. I think he voted for Biden. So there you go. There you go. Need further proof.
See?
Democrats are the real racists.
The Nazis, the neo-Nazis run the Democrats.
Nazis.
Whoa.
Oh, man. I'm going to have to cut that out.
I'm not going to cut it out.
Well, I know.
Our producer, Spyro.
Yeah.
There he is. Look at him over there. We're never giving him a mic.
No, he will
fucking
not.
Scumbag.
Seriously.
As you guys know, we really hate our producer, Spyro, but he did get us a good next week.
Yeah, we're going to be bringing on a guest.
Yeah. Well, actually, I flew down to Florida to conduct the interview, but it'll be in the episode, so.
Okay. Oh, dude.
How far in are we?
I don't know. I paused it, so this might be shorter or longer. It's at 22 minutes.
I mean, what did we miss? Did we lose something? Probably the one funny thing I've said.
No. It's been recording. I paused it for the Tim Pool thing, so I don't know if the timer continues, which I think it does.
I'll be honest with you. After 20 episodes of doing this, I didn't realize that we were going to be so political from the get-go, but that's all we talk about.
I know.
I mean, I wrote down Sour Patch Kids are just a candy for gay pedophiles. That was my contribution.
Well, I feel like, we always talk about how gay it is for people to involve their life around politics, but we always talk about the people involved in politics. I guess that's different.
No,
though.
it is. That's a good distinction to make because I don't want to weigh in on all this stuff happening, student loan debt, even though we probably will. But the people that actively dedicate their life to it, they suck. So we're going to dedicate our lives to making fun of them. I guess that's the way to look at it. That's the good spin zone there.
Yeah.
Instead of Louis C.K., it's Louis B. Gay.
That's good.
Is this going to be part of the news segment? Because we could do remember who sponsors. We have a sponsor, a new sponsor.
Do we need to do the ad read first?
No, we'll do the ad read after the news. Well, no, we'll do it now, but I will say this is the news. What were we going to call it? What the fuck is going on, you stupid Americans? Sponsored by John Oliver.
Oh, yeah.
That's not a joke either. As critical as we are of everyone, John Oliver is a fan favorite. We love him.
Yes.
And he's so funny and witty.
He's so smart. He's got that British wit that only those people can.
Stupid Americans.
What would he be saying? He'd be saying like,
you want student debt off? Get me off.
in America, the Biden administration has erased up to $20,000 in student loan debts. Of course, the only country where the line to getting your debt erased is as long as the line to the McDonald's.
$20,000, that's like 4,000 Funko Pops. Is that what they're called? Funko Pops?
Yeah, that's what they're called.
Math doesn't add up, but John is retarded. So anyway, okay, well, we're ready for the news. I guess I'll do my ad read now.
Yeah, go ahead.
So we're very excited. We have a new sponsor. So a lot of our fans have asked me, hey, Steven, would you ever get into the hard dick business? To which I always respond with, that sounds kind of gay, bro. But then I tried horny goatweed. Horny goatweed is commonly called barrenwort or yin yang wow in Chinaman talk. For millennia, the Chinese have used the yin yang wow plant as an all-natural medicine to help with erectile dysfunction, ejaculation problems, and brittle little bones. Lord knows I have those. This can lead to more meaningful and longer-lasting sex for you and your partner. I used to be as limp as a cooked noodle. Noodle, but not anymore. All because I started taking horny goatweed. After just 1 month of taking horny goatweed, I've gained 25 pounds of pure muscle. It gave me more energy than Adderall, lowered my blood pressure, cured my AIDS, my bronchitis, and my confidence is through the roof. Oh, and did I mention? My dick works good. Call to action. Oh, I'm not supposed to read that part, am I?
Oh, no.
I'm not supposed to say that call to action thing?
Shit, no.
So what are you waiting for? No need to put it off any longer. Better sex is just around the corner. Literally. Drive to the nearest Love's gas station and convenience store, go up to the counter, and tell them the fellows over at the Steven podcast sent you. They will then direct you to the nearest vending machine located in the men's bathroom. Just make sure you have a roll of quarters and you'll be ready to go. This is a one-time offer, so please act now. That's horny goatweed at Love's gas station convenience store. Have better sex today. Now,
what the fuck is up? You have nonsense, slake dog. American.
Okay, so I guess the first thing in the news, this isn't even a headline, but it's Joe Biden cancels student debt. We kind of alluded to it already, and the conservatards sound off. That's the note I made. So have you heard anything?
Yes, I feel like, the GOP's kind of consensus on this is it's insulting to veterans because their college is entirely free, where this, you get like, a quarter of it for free if you get up to $20,000 or $10,000. They're pretending like that's the same exact thing. The other thing they're trying to say is it's an insult to the working class and the middle class, even though the middle class, they're the ones dealing with student debt. So, I mean, that's like the stupidest thing you could possibly think of. What was the last thing? They also were talking about how it's going to make inflation worse, which is probably true. But I don't really care. I
don't either, because money's fake anyway.
Right.
The one I've been seeing a lot of is just sort of the classic Ben Shapiro of just because you decided to major in lesbian dance studies, we should pay for it. You made a bad decision. It's like, okay, fuck you. First up, Ben, you want to go to war, Ben? You want to go? This is my beef of the week. This is a new segment, beef of the week.
Dude, wait, hang on, because we might get Ben on the show.
Well, we do have Ben.
Well, he's a free speech guy, so you could probably say this, and he will die for you to say this. You know what I mean? Die
And
for
I
your right.
appreciate that. I would love for him to die for me to say whatever I want.
Okay, yeah. Sorry,
I would
go ahead.
I would want him to be first in line, and I always appreciate that about him, that he would die first. You want to talk about giving money willy-nilly to people of America, Ben? How about we stop giving money to your precious little Israel?
Oh, yeah.
How does that sound?
Yeah.
Because we don't just give them billions of dollars to do stuff. By the way, I'm Jewish, so I get the pass, motherfucker. But don't even think about censoring that, because I am.
I thought you were going to say don't even think about adding to this, Steve.
Steven, don't even think about... Don't yuck my yum. Conservatives are stupid. But not all of them, because if you're conservative and you're listening, you're probably very intelligent. That's why you're still here up to this point. But the Daily
You're
Wire...
probably a groiper, which is good.
Daily Wire is full of shit. Everybody there is a bunch of losers, and they stand all these principles that don't even make sense.
Yes.
We give money to stupid things that Ben cares about all the time, and I'm coming for you next week. Well, maybe. Oh, I'm not going to give anything away.
Yeah.
Okay, that's really all I have to say about the student debt thing. That takes a lot of money off for me, so I do not care.
I think the Democrats are going to win the midterm election. I actually don't know. What do they need? They have the House. They have the Senate. They don't have the House. Is that right? It doesn't matter. I almost feel like they orchestrated.
They have the House. The Senate is technically split or something, but because there's one independent or some shit. I really don't remember.
But I could see how the powers that be maybe manufactured like the gas prices and like the baby formula shortage. And now we're in the part where they look like the heroes. So it's like baby formula's back, gas is at a less shitty price, although it's still shitty, and then student loan debt repaid. And the Republicans just haven't figured out how to respond to that adequately. And I just don't think they're going to win the House. So they're like so incompetent without Trump, because when Trump left, there was another split where it was like, should he go to jail? And a lot of Republicans like Liz Cheney, who I think lost her seat, actually, were pretty much siding with the Democrats. And then you have some people who waited, like Josh Hawley, who waited until it was safe to defend Donald Trump. So once he knew that he wasn't going to get into legal trouble, then they all kind of decided to come out of the woodworks, like Ted Cruz and stuff. And yeah, I don't know. I mean, I feel like the Republican Party, they're just like more divided than they've ever been, and a lot of them are.
Yeah, I don't know. I think they're favored to win, but I don't know if any polling or like betting or anything like that accurately predicts anything. So
yeah.
I think they're supposed to take... Maybe they won't... I don't know. I really don't remember. Doesn't matter. Okay, I'm off of the student debt. I'm ready to move on. The woman accused of stealing Pelosi's laptop gets to attend a Renaissance fair.
That's good.
During the Capitol...
Good.
The Capitol... what do we call that nowadays?
The party
Insurrection
rockin'.
gives it such a negative connotation.
I know. 9/11/2 is what they're trying to call it. The attack on our democracy, our sacred, strong democracy.
So yeah, shout out to Riley Williams. A Pennsylvania court approved her outing to the Renaissance Fair.
Very good.
She's been in house arrest. I guess she went to jail for a while, and she's been in house arrest, and they'll let her out for the Renaissance Fair. So that's good. So shout out Riley Williams. And the only other thing I have is scientists are trying to resurrect the Tasmanian tiger. So, well, this was the article from ABC, not news, ABC, like Australian something, so it's probably not legitimate. So when did the last one die, and what about all those sightings? Well, if you read the article, which I did, it says they died from gay AIDS. So they're taking the DNA from the fossil, they'll be reanimating it, but the one glaring problem is that the Tasmanian tiger they're resurrecting will still have gay AIDS. And so that's strung out through the entire genetic code. I don't know what they're going to do about that. Power of CRISPR and gene editing, though, that is what's going to save the Tasmanian tiger. So, so yeah, that's all. That was the news for me.
The gayest animal alive. Can bring it back. I feel like I see and hear a lot of stories about like the Planet of the Apes alarmism, where have you seen that video of someone handing a monkey a machine gun and he just like empties the whole clip like in the forest?
Yeah, well,
We're playing it on the screen.
Yeah, I've seen some videos like that.
Or they'll say things like, you know, like orangutans can use tools and they're actually just as smart as humans, and what Bobo knows sign language and stuff. And like chimps will like rip your dick off and stuff like that. And people, so the argument being made is that monkeys are dangerous. They could take over the world. They're on the brink of doing it, whatever. There's the chimpanzee Shakespeare theory, where if you give a monkey a typewriter and enough time, eventually, over the course of however many years, they will have typed out the entire works of Shakespeare. But all of that has been plummeted by this recent New York Times article I saw that was talking about how some type of monkeys will use rocks for like sexual pleasure. So on one end, it's, they're learning how to fire machine guns. They're learning the human sign language. On the other end, they're just trying to fuck rocks. So I'm not as afraid of monkeys now, as I guess is what I'm trying to say. Just a humble reminder.
Well, that is a humble reminder, but I'll be honest, I've never heard of Planet of the Apes alarmism. But honestly, I guess if you just...
You remember that Joe Rogan, our hero Joe Rogan had that one
podcast,
rant.
Yeah. No, I didn't know about a Planet of the Apes alarmism. I didn't know we were actually to... Even if they could type Shakespeare, which I think they proved that wrong, because all the monkey would do is just hit the keyboard over and over again. It's just a dumb thought experiment.
Right. The
theory is
like
they're smart say.
If you gave it like thousands of years, it would eventually do it. Is the
no,
kicker.
But it wouldn't. Still, not a literal monkey anyway.
Yeah.
Even if it was on life support that whole time, just they would just hit the same thing. They ran. I don't think it could happen.
I don't either. I think
But I used to think AI could never do that. And so we just give a monkey AI and he just hits a few buttons and then it types a whole story.
He forms a whole army to take over. What's like one of the poorer? I gotta stop there because I was gonna. They could blend in with. Can't do that. Damn.
I feel like Filipinos would use
AI
monkeys.
Like, you think Bill Gates is like using some Microsoft app to just like put into like some villages and say like, this is now like your god? And then
I could see their news and stuff like that being generated that way. But
yeah.
What do they call that? A cargo cult, where like, I don't know if you've heard of this before, but like Prince Philip, whenever he like went to some bumfuck country south of us, they like started worshiping him. So there was like a whole island of people that like worshipped Prince Philip. So we could do that with like AI or something.
We should do a podcast like from one of those countries and then have them worship us. And we've got the funds, we've got the Patreon, the Gumroad.
But if they're super third world, they're probably going to kill us too, because we don't really add anything.
We should wrap this up soon.
Well, I have closing remarks, but
go ahead.
If we still have bits that we want to run through, I don't know how long we've been going.
Lay it on me.
Okay, so we got a few closing remarks. We often give our producer Spyro a hard time for being a lazy Greek piece of shit.
Yeah.
But he's finally stepped up, and we'll have our first guest next week.
Yes.
And as you guys know, we try and stray from politics as much as we can, but last weekend, I was given an opportunity to fly down to Florida and interview, you guessed it, Ben Shapiro, the Jewish founder of conservative network the DailyWire. Not to be confused with another guest we were hoping to line up, Bing Shapiro, Jewish Asian founder of the DailyWire. But anyway, that's a huge get for us. So I'm going to be down in Florida, talk shop with him, talk about Desantis, student loans, and I hate it because I was about to make him my beef of the week, which is a very famous segment that I do, where I announce who my beef of the week is with. So you want to check that out. I'm not just going to give him softball questions the whole time. And another thing too, we need a third chair for the podcast. So currently we're running a tight ship. It's me, Steven, my co-host Steve,
and we need a Stefan.
You're still in the one funny thing I had in this whole thing, and that's okay. We need a third mic to help out the dynamics. Send your applications in. The salary is $3 million. You heard that right, $3 million. You can find us on Indeed or send your resume and cover letter in to the email address do-not-reply@arbys.com. We'll leave that in the description. The only requirement is that you're funny, talented, and your name is...
Steven.
Thank you. As we all remember the words of Psalm 35, be unto as he. That's all, folks.
Good night.